Okay, and now on to the lighter side of things. I'm looking up right now. Hang on. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Texas Rangers won the World Series in 5 games. And as I stated in one of my other videos, which I stitched with a very lovely woman who's a big sports fan, I did this. Because no one cared about the World Series except Texas and Arizona. So, I wanted to see how bad it really was, viewing-wise. So the ratings, World Series games 2 and 3 were the least viewed fall classic in history. World Series TV viewership continues to reach new lows. Of course it did. No one in the rest of the country gave a shit about this World Series. It was between two lower market teams. They're not big markets. Maybe Texas, but Arizona, no. But they're lower market teams. See, the higher market teams decided to use analytics, like these teams do. They use analytics. But they also had old school managers who also knew what the fuck they were watching. And took analytics out the fucking window when they saw it when somebody wasn't doing something that analytics says they have to. Well, you weren't, pal. And I'm not going by this anymore. I'm going by what I see. Unlike the managers here in New York. Well, maybe not Buck Showalter, but good old Boone. Everything by the book with Boone. Instead of seeing that your guy couldn't pitch a fucking 10 for 3 innings and he gave up 7 runs. But that's what's happening. You're relying too much on analytics, so the higher paying, higher market teams aren't going to make it in because these guys have to try and make it in and get their championships with a lower payroll. I don't know what the Texas payroll is, but it's nowhere near what the Yankees were paying. It's nowhere near what the Mets were paying at one point, and it's nowhere near where the Dodgers were paying their players. Okay, so the payroll means shit. Maybe there should be a salary cap in baseball. Because then everybody will have a fighting chance. Even Kansas City. Although Kansas City did win in 2015, so it wasn't that long ago. But even still, these are the teams that are winning. The teams that use analytics and old school principles to get a winning formula. Let's face it, in Game 4, they were talking about Game 4, I think it was, yeah. It was a bullpen game. That's not what baseball is supposed to be. That's supposed to be 3-inning pitches and the next guy comes in. But this is what it's come down to with this analytic bullshit. I didn't like the bigger base. The only thing I really didn't like about the rules this year were the bigger bases. There's no need for bigger bases. You're only allowed to throw over twice. What's the bigger base got to do with it? To steal a base. So you've taken the science of stealing a base out of the equation completely. It took skill to steal a base, but analytics took away that skill. Just like analytics took away a pitcher going 9 innings. But that was way before analytics. That was starting to go downhill anyway. Specialists, pitching specialists who were brought in. It's just not the same game anymore. Now, the one thing they've never done, and I'm shocked, When you run up first base, you have that little box that's supposed to be the runner's lane. The problem with the runner's lane is you wind up going back into fair territory because that's where the base is. And then you get all the controversial, oh, you threw at the guy running up the first baseline. He was inside the grass. Of course he was. That's where the base is. There should always be a runner's bag. Then that gives them no reason to go outside the running lane and run into fair territory to hit the bag. You won't have to do it then. I still don't know why they haven't done that. The robot umpires are going to suck. They're going to suck, and that's going to slow the game back down. Because you're going to be able to fucking review during an at bat. No. It may work in the minors where no one gives a shit, but here you're gonna lose more people if you start pulling this bullshit. This is not a video game. It's a human game. And you're trying to turn it into a video game, and you can't do it. Well, like I said, we'll see what happens. Texas won, yippee! Nobody cares. Nobody cares except Texas and Arizona. Like I said, LA. I didn't watch an inning of it. I did not watch an inning of the World Series. The only thing I did was check the score the next morning. That was it. It may be the first time I never watched the World Series. But that's the way it is. I watched the basketball game instead. I watched the Knicks. They lost, but why would I watch the World Series? There's nothing of interest in it for me. Either way, congratulations, Texas, I guess. Oh, and the worst thing, Max Scherzer walking around with the trophy like this because I saw the clips. What the fuck did you do? You pitched 3 innings, your back went out, all of a sudden now you can carry the fucking World Series trophy. You pitched the other day, you pitched in the last series, you couldn't get out of your own way. You haven't been good since last year, and now you're walking around like king shit? The fuck out of here. No, it was Jacob DeGrom. Oh, we won the World Series. No, you didn't. You pitched 6 games, and you blew your arm out again. There's some people who don't deserve World Series rings, but they get them. They get them. Anyway, you all have a good day, and booyah!